Are you involving your team when you set your goals? I hear this often, either goal setting or maybe when things change, when we have to change how we're doing something, that leaders will just make the changes themselves without checking in with their team. Or they'll set a bunch of goals that they don't even look at what their team's goals are to maybe get them to help. We have tons of different goals in an organization. So when you're talking about a corporate organization, there are the corporate goals, then there's the goals for your division, then there's the goals for maybe your department or your team, and then we all have personal goals. And so as the leader, no matter where you are in that in those levels, whether you're the one making the corporate goals or whether you're the one making the department goals, you need to be aware of the goals for the areas that are, we'll say, above you. I don't love that idea, but if you're in a department and you need to look at your corporate goals for the year as well and make sure that what your department goals are actually helping the corporation get to the goals that they want. But you also need to look at, what are your team's goals? So what are the people on your team? What goals do they have? And if their goals are, maybe they have some goals that don't exactly fit in, but maybe you can find a way to help them fit in. And a thought that came to my mind the other day was, I was thinking, well, there's a lot of times students are working for companies that, maybe a student who's going into art is working at a Tim Hortons. Well, if you're that leader at Tim Hortons, don't you think you'd get a lot more out of that person if you let them use their art in some way? First thing that came to my mind, and this doesn't just include Tim Hortons, but maybe you have a front window. Maybe they can decorate it for you. Maybe they can do some window paintings for you. Give them an hour and let them work on it. Things like that. Now, usually our goals match more with what the organization wants, or they'll be closer to matching a particular career goal that we're doing. But that one's more of an extreme example. Okay, so they're working at Tim Hortons to put themselves through school, but they're an artist. Let them use their art. And maybe a more of a financial area, so maybe your department is finance, you have a clerk who eventually wants to be the leader. Well, maybe start letting them lead a few things. Hey, you know what? We have this project. We have a problem with filing. We need someone to lead the project. How about you lead the project? That doesn't mean they do all the filing. It just means that they work with the team to figure out how it's going to get done and how we're going to keep it going in the future. It's a small project that they can take on and lead. It takes some pressure off you as the leader, and it allows them that opportunity. I've worked with some great leaders who allowed me to do this in my life. One, I was very clear with her. I'd been offered a management role before I was ready. And I said, look, I've turned it down. I don't want to do that again. And then she worked with me. She told me the things I needed. I went back to school. I went to Toastmasters. And then she started putting me in situations at work that allowed me practice. So she'd bring me to management meetings, or she'd send me in her place, or she'd have me do the employee meetings. Things that just allowed me to step into those leadership roles. Within a year, I was ready to move on to the next role. Well, guess what? At the next role, I had the same kind of leader. He saw my drive immediately, and he said, the only job I can help you get into is the general manager's role, so I'm going to teach you everything I can about my role to get you prepared to move forward. So do this with your team. I was incredibly loyal to both of those managers, and I still have nothing but great things to say. It doesn't mean we got along in every moment. It doesn't mean I do things exactly the way they do. But certainly while I was there, I knew they had my back, and I knew they were taking care of me. So as a leader, if you want your team to be working for you, make sure that you're working for them too. Ask them what their goals are, and then let them use those tools or skills that they're hoping to gain, or the skills that they already have. Leading with Ease starts next week. If you were thinking about it, we did move it back one more week. If you were thinking about it and hadn't gotten to me, today is the last day you can give me a call today. As always, I will put the comments in the chat, or I will put in the comments the link to a 20-minute call with me. If I said something today that you don't agree with, I'd love to hear from you. Or even if you do, would love to hear from you and learn more. Have a great week.